It's time to start. We'll go ahead and start, and then anybody who comes in can come in and join us.
Good.
So let's see. I want to welcome everybody. And Louise started us off with I think it was three Zentangle lessons on various designs, and then I picked it up and did one on combinations, and so we're continuing with that. What am I doing? I'm sharing my screen. Let's see. Here we go. So I have some examples. Can you see the Zentangle?
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
that.
I just went to Google Images and looked at Zentangle designs. And so I've got a few here to show you and to talk about. If there's anything that you'd like to use and you want to think through how to make the design, we can do it. I have some drawing tools on the whiteboard. But I love this. There's a couple of reasons I love this one. First of all, the border, the frame is not complete, it's not 90-degree rectangular.
Yeah.
Not a ruler.
I love that it moves. And then this is so powerful because it's just one design over and over, and yet it looks three-dimensional. It looks like these are stacked on top of each other, and that white space is down at the very bottom, far away from me. I love this design. Not very hard to do either. So if you have some paper and pencil, if you like a certain design, then maybe make a little sketch of it or write it down. I haven't named these. I guess we could call these concentric circles or something like that. Now this is a different one. This has more designs in it. It looks to me almost like a butterfly. And here are these little flowers that Louise loves so much, puts in almost every design I've ever seen her do. And I love these lines that are parallel here, and they join these lines that are parallel at a different angle, and so it's very three-dimensional and so simple. Look how simple that is.
Yeah.
And then you have these black kind of antennas here that could be something like a butterfly, and then these designs on what I think of as the wings. This one is almost like a spider web, and you just follow that same design and make it smaller and smaller. So I'm just so enthusiastic about these designs I found. Now this is more complicated, but it has, instead of it's almost like a quilt that has
Wow.
It
pieces
is.
where you can put designs in. And there's a sampler later that's much easier than this one. But we can come back to this one. I like the swirly feeling of this one. It reminds me a little bit of Louise's when we did color block. I don't remember what you called them, Louise, but it was fill in with color.
Oh,
Like
that
that.
was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is another one that uses one design over and over again, and it's just I love the three-dimensional aspect of it. And again, these are not perfect rectangles, so they look very organic. I don't know what word to use, but I love this design.
I think that was done from the bottom up or the top down.
How do you start? Where does it start?
Well, that's a good question.
I would start, well, you can't start with the other ones. You have to start with this top one, this center one. Can you
That's
see
right.
the cursor moving around?
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
then you go out almost like petals on a flower, so that you start at the border and go out and then keep going, and it looks like you're going underneath each time.
Hmm.
If anybody wants to see it done, again, I have drawing tools and I can show little examples of how to do these. This is just an example of a sampler if you like this idea of just having, this is a lot like Sally's cartoon matrix chart where we put different designs into each box. And it's much like, a sampler of embroidery or needlework where you just put a design in each box. I am intrigued by this center one, and it's really easy to do. So if you like that one, I love how it looks like furniture that has buttons, you know, and it's three-dimensional. It has stitching in between the buttons, but it's actually really easy to do if you like that one. And then you can see that Zentangles, if you haven't done these before, are just the same pattern over and over and over again, a lot like doodling. This one right here, look how simple this is. Just breaking the box into 9 3x3 boxes and little spirals in each one. And it's so mesmerizing. And then this one here, the use of black space behind these shapes. I don't know what to call them, almost like sails. It's gorgeous. These are just gorgeous. I love these designs. This is an example of using something
Ooh,
that's realistic, like an eye. You can almost think of the shape of
golly.
the nose in here and the eyelashes and eyebrows. So that's just an example. You know, it's too small to see the exact Zentangles in most cases, but I love that eye. So we have a couple of options. Some of you have been at a lot of Zentangle things and can just go on your own. Some of you might like to look at individual designs and see how they're made. What would you like to do? Anybody?
Well, I'm a beginner, so I'd really like the very first thing that I like the three-dimensional too. And that
Okay.
it's almost like a window. It looks to me like a curtain.
I love it too. By the
So-
way, those of you who are seeing our screens, if they ever cover up an example that you want to see, you can grab the black border at the top or at the sides and move that around on the screen.
What do you mean in our Zoom window?
Right, there's when I'm sharing, then our screens get really small and they're in a band across or down, and there's a black band at one end or the other, and you can just click on it and drag it to another place on your screen, because sometimes it gets in the way of a design. So I'm going to grab my annotation tools here and just grab a pencil. And so I'm going to make a little window. Like I said, I love the free flowing border. And what I would do is just start at one of the corners. You can start anywhere
Yeah.
and just make concentric half circles. Now, drawing on the whiteboard is a little bit awkward, so I can't do as nice a drawing as I can do with pencil, but it gives you the idea. And then, of course, we can color in this inner circle each time. And then to make something that's behind it, I just go like this. So I'm not seeing part of that one because it's behind this first one that I drew. And I can also make these different sizes.
I also put shade in underneath some of them.
Oh,
Let's-
yeah, shade.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, some of them are like they, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one on the bottom.
It
there.
also might be the resolution of the picture because it was small when I grabbed it, and then I made it bigger. So it might just be that the lines look fuzzy. So I'm not crazy about how this is turning out because, like I said, drawing with a mouse is not the same as drawing with a pencil, but you get the idea.
Mhm.
I'm back to kindergarten learning how to color inside the lines. So if anybody would like to stay on this picture for a bit, let me know. Otherwise, we can move to another one. Anybody want to stay? And you are free to just go off on your own.
So,
I'm going to stay and do this one, but I'm think I could get locked in somehow. I just feel I could get in, like jail of some sort.
and I'm seeing that there's actually a way, you see how we started at the bottom right-hand corner, and then you would leave a space and then do the next one, and then leave a space and do the next one, because otherwise,
Oh, yeah.
how are you going to go behind? You can't go consecutively.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
this one right
Yeah.
here
Yes,
and this one right here
Yes.
are at the same level, close to
yes,
us.
all the way around. You do it. You do with all the way around, leaving a space. and
Oh,
be-
I love that idea.
And the
Yeah.
second level also is like that.
Yes.
So let's
And
see.
then and also the sizes change depending on the level.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight what Jane is talking about.
Right.
So these are the designs that are close to us.
And they were done first, it looks
They
like.
were
Those are
done
done
first.
first, yeah.
I didn't notice that. Thank you.
And then if you can talk about the second level, because someone just mentioned there was something different there too.
So here's the second level, and I didn't really take in what somebody said about the second level.
Well, they're the same size. Each level seems to be the same size circle.
Oh, yes, but each level is a different size.
Well, the first two look very similar,
That's true.
but then then they get bigger.
Yeah.
Well, this one, this level gets bigger here, but not all the way around though, because you can see these two are big.
Mhm.
Doesn't have to get bigger.
On
No,
that
it doesn't.
same level here,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
smaller.
they're
Yeah.
smaller. So it just depends on your whim, whether you want to make them the same size or different sizes. And then we actually have, let's see, now this one, wait a minute.
That one.
That one's green, right?
No, the big one is pink.
Oh, the big one is
Yeah,
pink.
the big
Right,
one is pink.
right.
So again, it was
This-
drawn separate.
This one's
Sort of,
green. And then this is actually an example of adding color to your picture.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's nice, and sometimes the black and white is so gorgeous, kind of like black and white photography. So this
Yeah.
one is pink. So we have these two pink ones, which are touching right here, which adds
Yeah.
kind of an
I mean,
interesting.
the big
effect.
one must have been drawn first.
Right, because this little one has a little tiny bit of
Yeah.
missing
Yeah.
behind the big one.
Which is very clever. That's what gives it the three-dimensional
That's
look.
right. Isn't this interesting how much you can get from a picture like this? Wow.
Yeah, I love the fact that with Zentangle, you draw in your three-dimensionality by layering things.
Yeah.
And
Sizing them, not making them too uniform.
that's right, because the ones in the back, in theory, would be smaller because they're further away.
Huh? Yeah. But that doesn't work in this case. Or it might, but it's not necessary.
Mhm.
So
Kind of-
one of the interesting aspects of Zoom is that when you're working with the whiteboard like this, I can't scroll to a different part of this document unless I erase this picture. So once I say we're leaving this picture, I'm going to have to get rid of the color.
Okay.
So just be sure that you're done with looking at it before we go to the next one. So now we have another layer back here of blue. I'm kind of having fun coloring.
How do you do that? You just with your Zoom tools or something?
Zoom has a whiteboard and it's called Annotate.
Oh,
There's a little strip of tools, including a pencil, a highlighter,
oh,
Really? Okay.
text. I can
It's so
type if
pretty.
I want to.
I love colors.
Yeah, me too.
And that's in Zoom, not in Word?
This is in Zoom, right? Well, I made my document in Word,
Ah,
but right now I am
She's annotating in Zoom.
now
okay.
Zoom tools. in whiteboard. So whiteboard is under share if you ever want to try it. It's really easy.
Okay.
You just go down to share, you grab yourself a whiteboard, and you can annotate.
I can annotate right now. Is that
Yes.
because, maybe that's
because
because I'm
you're
a
a co-host.
co-host? Oh,
Because you're
okay.
a co-host. Yep.
So
So-
each of these circles, they're not all the same number of
Let me
lines.
take that away.
Now, should we give these names so we can get back to them if we want to see it again?
Yeah. We
What's a
call
good
this
name for this?
curtain.
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 Looks like a
Circles.
curtain. Or theater.
And if somebody has a different idea, we can call it by a different name too. I kind of like discs.
Curtain discs. Add another name.
Theater curtain discs. It looks like a theater curtain.
It does. Let's make it RE. Theater curtain discs. I love the white at the end,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the back. It makes you feel like you're going through a portal into some kind of magic land.
Yeah, you can always put some mountains in there.
That's right. We put mountains in every design. So, Ramiro, is there anybody who does not want to move on from this picture?
I just want to say it's interesting, the pink level, I think they got bigger because it got complicated to do more small ones in there.
Maybe?
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm finding that
And-
too. Otherwise, you have to do too many small ones to fill your
I
space.
vote
Yeah.
for looking at something else now.
Already?
okay,
That's my vote.
Okay.
okay.
Since I haven't heard from anybody else, I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to actually, whoops. What happened? I want to save this. So, another thing about Zoom is that you can save this picture. Oh gosh, it slid, didn't it? Look at how the picture slid. The
It looks
color.
kind of
Oh, the
cool.
color.
Good, yeah.
Let's see.
Drippy color.
I'm gonna get it back where it was. Let's see. There it is. All right. So now that, let's see, I have to get rid of my annotation tools and then I can scroll. Okay, so does anybody have a request of where they want to go now, or should we just look at these and say yes or no, we want to stay here, or,
This looks good to me for now.
okay? Let's stay here for a while.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, there's a lot of different
Mm-hmm.
Pentangle designs there.
Yeah.
There's like one.
It looks very Louise.
Gee. Oh gosh, I'm such an influencer.
You are.
Isn't that a new thing these days? Someone's an influencer? What does that
I have
mean?
never heard that.
Not unless
Yeah,
you're
it's
an
a-
influence
Linda
peddler.
probably knows. It's something to do with Instagram maybe, or
Yeah, it's Instagram or Twitter or any of the, well, mainly there could be TikTok. It's
Yeah.
where you can post a picture of yourself doing something that you think other people want to watch. Lots of people do YouTube videos and become influencers, putting
Yeah.
on special makeup or, it tends to be, gosh, really Hollywood. from
Oh,
what I-
yeah.
Well,
it's-
some get paid by companies. A friend of mine's brother
Yes.
was paid by an alcohol company, very handsome guy. He would go to bars and drink this particular alcohol. And people wanted to be like him.
Right.
Oh,
He was so
Wow.
handsome.
Influencer. Usually what you do is you post a bunch of stuff on Instagram. The companies see that you're being followed and then they
Mhm.
offer you money.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then there was Sarkozy being charged with influence peddling. So what is that? The ex president of France or the prime minister of France, charged with influence peddling. So I think it's been around a long time, just in a different form.
Yeah, this is primarily social media talking about.
Mhm.
It's amazing how many new words we have and new phrases because of the pandemic and the reliance on social media.
Right.
Muting yourself.
Oh.
There's a whole lot of memes about people saying, unmute, unmute,
Yeah.
which Louise and I know about.
So can I just ask, because I've done that first one and it's not quite looking right, is there a certain size that these Zentangles are on the
Oh,
page?
you can
Actually, when
forever.
when Louise started teaching these, she found in a book, I think, Louise.
Well, it's the traditional Zentangle creators suggest starting off with 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares of paper.
Okay, great. It makes a difference. Thank you.
I do have to cut in here and say that those supposedly original Zentangle creators are more Zentangle fluencers. Zentangle has been around much, much longer. It is a mathematical thing, which I'm not remembering the name of right now.
Oh,
Good
And
to know.
it's an outgrowth of that.
okay. So they just sort of appropriated it somehow and
Yeah, and they expanded on it, but
Yeah.
they modernized it by
Yeah.
saying, okay, these are the forms you're going to use, and this is what you can do.
and this is what we call
I
them.
was teaching basically what one might call Zentangle or repetitive forms when I was teaching math. That it's
Okay.
just, no, I wish I could remember the name, but I'm 70
Well,
now.
is it anything to do, Linda, with the golden mean? Is it based on that?
Not necessarily, but that's what it is. And
Yeah.
that's part of it, certainly.
Could easily have come from another culture.
Well, that comes from Galileo, the golden mean. He produced that.
Right. I mean, not us, not English speaking, whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Greek myself.
It's Greek to me.
Are the spaces always supposed to be uniform?
I think it just depends on what you want. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You can use the same design and do it over and over with different parameters and make it look really different.
Right.
Because everything is is pretty uniform.
What do we call it?
If you're going to do this to look like that, how long would it take? I mean, I'm doing a messy job, but if you wanted to make it like that, how long do you think it would take?
It depends on the person, probably. I mean, if you've been doing this for a long time, it might just take a few minutes.
Oh, really?
Really?
You know,
And where would you start on this one? Because it's quite complex. So where would it be
well,
the
right
line?
now, I'm starting with this border here and making the lines. And by the way, if anybody's interested, Zoom annotation tools have a straight line. I like straight lines because they're easier to make look uniform, but you can also make them kind of wavy. So I'm going to try to make this center here. And then I think you could go off to the edges. Those are the things I was calling wings, the butterfly wings. One of the things I like about parallel lines is you can make them different spaces. Like you can make them far apart and close together, and it increases the interest if everything isn't exactly the same distance apart.
You know, I am doing the one in the middle, like the lines going one way and the lines going the other way and a wavy line in the middle. And it
Uh-huh.
looks very 3D, but mine does not look 3D and I don't know why. I think I have to add some shading, but would I put the shading toward the middle? I think so, huh?
Well, their shading
you want to
is
show it to
created by
us?
the edges. Did
Where
you,
are, yeah, if I
my-
show mine, maybe
you
somebody can tell me. See, it doesn't look 3D-ish like this other one does.
trying to make it bigger?
Well, the angle,
So
It's
the
the
angle.
angle.
it's the angle
Yeah,
between the lines.
Really?
exactly. Yeah.
It's
it's
too
the angle.
shallow.
Oh, I don't know what that means, shallow.
So can I show you, Louise, on
Yeah,
the picture that I've got right now? So I'm going to pick one of the lines in the center. If I make that line too close to, whoops, I'm going to use a straight line, sorry. If I make my joining line too close to parallel to the other one, it doesn't look three-dimensional. But if I undo that and make it an acute angle like this,
oh,
I do that over and over again.
well, I sort of did that though.
Well, but
I think
not, it's too shallow, Louise.
What
You
is
have to,
it?
or has
I
to
don't know
be,
what you mean by shallow.
if your
Right.
angle is
Oh, too little of
Or-
an angle.
more like
correct.
a V.
Okay. Oh,
an
okay.
angle.
Okay. Well, I'm putting shading and that's not working.
Yeah,
well.
when I was doing that other design, I made a design for my daughter that some of you saw. When I did that, I discovered that you have to have the angle between, and this is not looking as good as I would like it either.
Well, the
Well,
angle.
you know, it's sort of like maybe the first time one does one thing, it doesn't look as good as if one does it many times, you know?
Dean, shouldn't your lines be going up and down instead of,
Well, you know what I just discovered about this? When you look at what I just drew here and you look
Right.
at this design, these lines are all parallel to each other. Mine followed the curve and it shouldn't
Mhm.
have, because that's what causes it to look three-dimensional. When these are all parallel and these other ones are all parallel and they
Really?
meet in a V, a chevron.
Because
Yeah.
yours does look three-dimensional to me.
Yeah, it does. Actually.
I don't know. I think I'm going to try something else. So there's an eraser on Zoom and you can just erase this whole thing. So much fun. I love this.
You know, I love like a little white square makes it look like there's light shining on it, and they call it, it's like called a highlight, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we can stay here or we can move to another design. By the way, I'm going to send you the document that has all the designs so you can look at it yourself
Okay.
after the session. So
Thank
don't feel like you're missing anything by not seeing one of them, because you'll get it in the email.
Okay.
And I think, Vivian, I'm going to need your email.
Okay, it's Viv Roth. Or you want me to put it in the chat?
Oh, it's okay. Viv Roth.
Viv Roth 46 at gmail.com.
Okay. All right. And then I'll also send you all the recording Louise, go ahead and send it to me after it's completed.
Yeah, does anybody not want their image on? Well, we really can't take out one particular image like on Zoom, like a square. But if anybody doesn't want their comments in there or anything, I could take them out, but that's kind of hard. But I can do it.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Are we really that fussy?
Well, and are we really that popular. Nobody's looking at these anyway.
Really, who cares, right?
They're not going viral, I'll tell you that. Just
So, Jane, I think I have your email, but let me just hear your email.
Yeah, janemonteagle@gmail.com.
Okay. Teagle.
Yes, the Mountain Eagle.
Wonderful. Oh, that's what a name.
Monteagle.
Soaring, isn't it?
It is.
Ha, 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 ha.
Okay, and then let's see who else is here. And then Linda, I have yours.
Yes.
Are these supposed to be meditations? Is that
Well,
the Zen connection?
That's where the
They're
Zen
very
comes in.
meditative when you're drawing them.
I think it depends on the person. I think it's more frustrating, quite honestly. But you can have it be meditation. I'll have it be frustration.
What is the Zen connection?
I think that is the Zen
I
connection.
think it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
And it made a good trade name.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So when do you get instructions on where to start with these things, or where to start on each of these, or is it just and how to progress, or
There
does that
are
come with
books.
knowing?
There are books that show you how to do each one. I have, what I'll do also is I'll send my tutorial from last time where I did show the steps for various designs that we're not even looking at today. And there are books that show that too.
Can't you go online and you'll see it there also? Can't
Yeah.
you put on zentangle.com
yeah.
and get something?
Probably
Maybe.
tons
I
of
have
stuff.
seen, that's where I get these kind of designs, but I've never seen anything laid out step by step.
I have my
That's true.
favorite Zentangle book. It shows 100 designs, and it shows it step by step how to create it. It's very, very good book. I'll show you.
Yeah, you
Oh, Charlotte. Hi.
Hi.
I could not see your name, so I didn't know who was here. I'm sorry. Nice to have you here.
Yes,
So
nice to be here.
what I'm discovering on what you're doing right now, Jean, is that you kind of have to do them both at the same time. Otherwise, you end up with gaps. If you do one of the wings, you might say, and then go back and do the vertical strokes, they don't match up,
That's right.
or you get gaps, big gaps. Yeah, like that. So,
By the way, Jane, if you ever want to lead us in a Tuesdays at 2, I'm
Yeah.
sure, Jane's an amazing artist.
oh, Louise,
Just saying.
don't dob me in, Louise.
No, you don't want me to jump you in here?
Well, I just got myself here because I got so much else on. And
I know
Yes.
you do, but
after all this time.
I
But
put
no,
in a
thank you.
brag for you.
Thank
Okay?
you. I'll think about it. Maybe we
Okay.
can. I'm hoping to apply this to the garden somehow. Shapes in the garden. So I
Ooh,
can tie it
I
in with that.
see. And of course, Linda, fantastic artist, and she already did one YouTube with us. I mean,
Yeah,
it didn't go on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe we don't have it. I don't know, but she did a fabulous teaching on Tuesday.
And Charlotte too.
That's right. That's right.
Through Weaves with Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm noticing from this design that I just drew over here, this middle of the butterfly, is that you can look at it three-dimensionally two ways. It can look like this right side is on a tabletop and this other side is coming up from the tabletop.
Right.
And you can also see it as this right side is the bottom of a kind of a rectangular prism.
Oh,
This side. So it goes in and out. I have some books on MC Escher.
oh yeah, that optical.
Yeah, I do
illusion.
too. Aren't they fun?
Yeah,
Going
see,
up stairways and
the
things.
stairs going up or the stairs going down. So it's kind of the same thing here.
Yeah, my mind just flipped it. It's like it goes back and forth. like it's
Exactly.
coming toward me or it's going against, the other way.
Away from you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So is everybody ready to move on to another design? We have time for probably one or maybe
Yes.
more.
I'm
Sure.
ready.
I'm ready. This one's
Okay.
really
I'm going, I'm with you.
All right.
Oh,
God,
I love
this is
that.
wild. This has
Mm.
so many Zentangle. There's so many.
This one, yeah, is very complicated. Let's
That's
make a
not for
choice.
me.
So we have, let's call this the swirly one. Let's,
Paisley. Paisley.
here's
Paisley.
another one with one. This is very much like our discs at the beginning. What was it called? The theater curtain discs.
Yeah.
So it's one design over and over, and you get the three-dimensional effect. And then we have a sampler. So here's my, what would I call that? The couch buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Fluffy. I
I
call it
actually
like
like,
little
I,
puff balls.
I'd like to try this one at the side here because I've never actually drawn it. I've just thought through how to draw it. So I'm going to
Okay.
probably come back to that one. And then there's the eye, which is so gorgeous.
You know what? I'm going to start with the eye and then make up stuff.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly what you do.
Yep. Yep.
I like it too.
Could you go back to the swirly one for a minute?
Sure.
So one wouldn't have to do this many different patterns because it's
No.
kind of jarring that there's so many different
Yes.
ones.
I
There,
couldn't find my book.
in the other Zentangle document that I'll send you that I used last time, there was a very simple design of a little house with a hill and a little stream, I think. And it was just like maybe about 4 or 5 different areas inside the drawing.
Mhm.
And it was restful. This one is kind of cacophonous, right? You know, there's
Yeah.
so much energy and so much movement, and
It never repeats a design. They're all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
I think I would like it better if it did repeat.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Yeah. So, does anybody want to stay here, or let's have a vote? Who feels strongly about some design they want to look at?
I'm happy to go with the pincushion.
Okay, let's try the pincushion.
Yeah.
So, what I thought of was that I could start with just an outline.
Hmm.
And then my idea for starting would be to make the buttons first.
Yeah. Okay.
And the buttons don't look round, they look kind of star shaped,
Yeah.
but I don't have a lot of control over this cursor, so I'm just going to make.
But they're spaced alternately on different lines, right?
So then if you look at it horizontally, there are 2 buttons. I'm going to try and duplicate the picture. 2 buttons on the first line and then
3 on the last next
3
one.
on the next. They're not actually exactly horizontal, but and then 2 here. And then 3 again. Someday I will learn to make little circles that look neat. And then all you have to do is just make little curved lines in between them. So it actually looks like one of the lines is curved and the other one is rather straight looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And they don't emanate from the same point, although sometimes they do. So
Well, the top two lines are different than the bottom two lines.
the top
Let's
two
see.
lines.
They're,
Yeah, the top two ones have more curve to them, I think.
Mhm.
yeah, the outside one on the top is curved, but on the bottom, it's the bottom ones that are curved. The top.
So when that
top-
happens, I just make the decision that I get to make the decisions for myself and try different things and see what works.
Mhm.
one could set up a grid with all squares and then add the curvy things later, because it is a grid of squares, but the little curvy lines make it look like, little pillows
That's
with.
interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it encouraged to use tools to make things straight and linear, or are
Did
you
you say
encouraged?
rulers?
Yeah, or are you encouraged just to freehand?
I think just freehand is part of, I think freehand is,
Encouraged.
well, I guess. If anybody's interested in my favorite book, I can get you the title. I can't find it right now, but I can find the title at least.
Quite,
What is what's the
quite
book?
expensive.
All right, I gotta look for it.
It's quite pricey, isn't it, Louise? I
Pricey?
remember- Yeah, I remember looking at it.
Oh, yeah, I know I showed
Like
you. I
25
don't
bucks.
remember. But I know that I mentioned it in my previous, I'm going to our YouTube channel to look for it.
Is that the Escher book?
No, the
Start-
Zentangle book I'm talking about.
Oh,
I suspect that you can also check them out of the library.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so too.
So I'm
Park
noticing.
Library's going to open again pretty soon. Did you read
Oh.
that?
Oh, no,
that's
what
great.
did you find
Well,
out?
they're going to open with a new way of doing it. They have to set it up. I suppose limited people, but we're going to be able to go into the stacks.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, the Ocean Park one.
Oh,
So what I'm noticing about this when I look further is there's shading.
And make sure you leave room at the top as there is here.
Of-
because
There
we're
is?
oh, sorry.
Oh,
Let me,
Yeah.
sorry,
there's
let me
some
mute.
Oh,
shading.
yeah, there is too.
Rating.
everybody done, raise your hand.
On the top line, right? On the top curved line.
All right. Now we're moving on to the next one.
Oh, God, sorry.
Oh,
Faith.
that's the video. Okay.
Sorry.
I was wondering, how is that possible? I hear her voice, but her
Well, I'm
mouth
not
isn't
muted, that's why.
moving.
I gotta mute me.
So I don't have the ability to do really fine work here with shading. But it does make it more interesting just to have that.
Yeah.
It increases the 3D effect,
Uh-huh.
pillowy effect.
I put Zentangle information in my favorite book, which I have 4 of them. And so
Wow.
this one is the best as far as a beginner, like a reference book for every, 100 different tangles. And I found it really good.
Wow.
Where did you put that?
In the
Louise?
chat,
Okay.
So I'll send that information to in the email.
I don't see anything in the chat.
Really? I just put it in there. Oh, I didn't push enter. Now it's there.
There we go.
So we're on 50 minutes, and I do have to leave for 3. I could hand over the host job to somebody else if somebody wants to stay.
I'm done. I'll just show you my eye. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
Can
just
you see it?
share. Wait, I want to see the sharing.
Oh my, look at that.
Oh,
Let's see
cool.
again. See that.
I think
Hey,
I'm gonna color it.
Jean,
think
if we
I'll-
do sharing, can we stop
That-
screen share so we can see
that's-
everybody's work?
Yes, that's what I was just thinking. So let me save this.
All right, I'll share mine. It's not done, but
Oh, you got color in there. pretty
Oh,
good.
I like the color.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
lovely.
Pretty.
There are your mountains, Louise.
yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
So I did the circle, but I haven't finished. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, wow. You did a big one.
Big.
Gee,
Yeah, it's good. Oh, yeah, they're gonna be huge.
wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a
I
lot of
didn't hear
layers.
the 3.5 by 3.5
I
direction.
stayed,
That would go faster.
Right.
Yeah.
I stayed with the circles
Oh,
as well. But I
Linda.
put it
Hey,
in a
Linda.
note card.
Can you bring it closer?
Closer, yeah, let's see it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool,
wow.
Linda.
Oh, wait. Now under the light. I don't,
There
there,
we
there.
Ooh,
I like the
Nice.
color you put in the middle.
Oh, wow,
looks
that looks
good. That yellow
so
looks great.
Nice.
cartoony and neat.
gorgeous.
And I just put it directly onto a note card. So, I can send it to somebody now.
Nice.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it is.
And the sunlight or the yellow is not in the center. It's a little off, which makes it. even-
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah, there's
cool, Linda.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way you.
That was
So what have you got, Charlotte? Let's see yours.
Okay. I also just put it on a note card.
Good
Oh,
idea.
good.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Pretty, pretty.
nice.
Ooh.
Can you show again, Charlotte?
Close, go
Move it
back so
back
we
a
can see
little.
the whole
Back,
thing.
back.
further.
Hold it back.
Charlotte, you
Oh,
have to
There you
nice.
go.
Oh,
Oh, look
wow.
at that.
You worked fast. You just came
Yeah.
on.
You did.
You can't see it, Charlotte. Can you talk so it shows on your screen?
There.
Nice.
Or maybe
Oh, and look how she used that disc design without the outline.
I like
coming
it
off
there.
the edge.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
part, I think, the disc
Yeah.
design.
Very
They're
cool.
all touching. They're all over each other. There's no space there.
In the upper left, I want to see that closer. Because I really like the upper left part of your design. Just I couldn't see it very well. Oh,
Yeah.
so you made a very, very straightforward, symmetrical version of those couch buttons without
Without
big
the
buttons.
buttons.
Yeah. Oh, I love it that way.
very
Mhm.
nice. Yeah.
So pretty. Wow. All right, folks, I have to go.
Thank you.
Did we
Thank
see everybody's
Thank you so
work?
much, everybody. Nice to see
Jane,
you.
did you share yet? I'll take over if you want to. I'm the co-host. I just want to see a
Okay.
couple more.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too.
Want to share yours?
Very little, just sketched. Tried to attempt. I'm not sure if you can see. Just tried to attempt.
A little bit
Hold on.
light.
See. Cool.
Got that far. But I think I'm going to
Oh.
go back and do this one. I like that instantaneously. So I'm
Right.
You set yourself up to do a longer one.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those big ones take a long time.
Okay, I guess we could all leave, eh?
All right. This is
Thank
great.
you.
Let me make sure I have everybody's
Hi, Vivian.
email. Yes.
Hi, Louise.
Email.
This is for
Thanks
6
for
weeks.
coming.
The 6
Thank
week,
you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
6
you.
week session.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Jane, what was your question?
This is 6 week session.
Oh no, it's actually just once in a while.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was every week, but no.
No, we've got different things every week. So we've got next week is poetry reading. Then we have a hoot with Bob Gord, where people can come and share songs. And then there's an open week. So if somebody wants to do a session, I have an idea, but if somebody else wants to do a session, that would be great. And then we have a hoot, and Larry Dilge is going to come and do that. And we're saving a spot for Louise when her arm gets better to do a hoot. So we do poetry reading once a month, and probably are going to do some kind of musical hoot at least once a month.
Okay.
And then
Poetry
Zen
reading
Tangle
was
kind of
really
wherever.
nice.
What's
We
that?
read
liked it
other
too.
people's poetry. I mean, Fred read his own, but other
Yes.
people read other people's poetry. It was really nice.
Yes, and I loved Billy Collins. I had never read his poetry, Louise, so you introduced me to him.
Mhm.
That was
Makes
wonderful.
more money than any other poet in the world. He's one of the few poets that really makes a big living with
Wow.
poetry. Yeah, you read about him. He's interesting.
Wow.
Great.
Well, he has a radio show in the Bay Area. You can hear him on NPR up there.
Really?
He's
Which
on
is really
Facebook every
fun.
day. Yeah, he's on Facebook every day too. My friend Sally
Mhm.
goes on that.
So much out in the world. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So Louise, do you want to take over or
No, we can end.
we go?
Yeah, I'm
I
ready to
need
go.
to end. This is fun. Thank you
Thank
for
you, everybody. Thank you, Jean. for
Great.
having
Thank
me.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.